last week you might have seen Sir Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, was over in China. But there was a real possibility, apparently, that this trip was not going to happen. In fact, he didn't get approval, despite this thing being put together for months. They were working on this trip. He didn't get final approval to go to China until 8 days before he took off. And all of this apparently hinged on whether or not there would be approval for a new embassy in England. I'm not joking. This is from a report from the paper in England that says Chinese authorities refused to sign it off, that is the trip, until just 8 days before Starmer was due to land, the paper can reveal. Xi Jinping's regime warned that the trip could not be confirmed before the government had granted planning permission for China's new embassy near the Tower of London. The decision was made last week, a further sign of the transactional nature of Chinese diplomacy. So China has, and this all may be a massive coincidence, but it just turns out, that for months they'd been working on this trip. They didn't get official approval from China for the Prime Minister of the UK to go over there. China says, you better give development approval for our embassy before you can set foot in our country. A week before he leaves, the approval comes down, and then all of a sudden, Sir Keir Starmer can go over to China. I mean, again, could just be a massive coincidence, but this is extraordinary that China thinks they can just boss Western countries around like this. You got to do this or there's no entry to our country. And seemingly they just fall over and go, yes, Xi, yes, Xi.
Well, they don't think they can boss Western countries around. They do boss Western countries around because we've become so weak and we just let ourselves get blackmailed and bullied by China and we just roll over. It is completely embarrassing. And keep in mind, this mega embassy is 55,000 square metres, 200 underground rooms, including underground communications cables. I mean, this thing is basically a fortress in the heart of London that many security experts are worried will be used as a hub for massive espionage activities and just all sorts of nefarious activities you would not want China doing in the middle of London.
Have you seen the consulate in Sydney? The Chinese consulate in Sydney? It's this giant. It's the size of a whole suburban block, and it's you know, concrete.
And they've got one in Adelaide too, because I remember it was a big hullabaloo when they built it there, and it's like a fortress.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of suburban Adelaide, and they've got these huge fences. It is like a fortress.
They love the suburbs, but I think we're missing the real point of the story here, which is that Keir Starmer actually greeted journalists and officials and business people on the plane as he was going to China, saying, quote, "Sit back, enjoy the rest of the flight. I'll be bringing the plane in from here," which marks an historical first. This is the first time in all of recorded human history that Keir Starmer has told a joke.
Well, you know, he has to every now and again because, well, he doesn't really have to tell jokes, does he? Because, like, his entire
Prime Ministership... you're going to say he is a joke.
...has basically been a joke.
He's trying.
I'm sorry, any guy who is in power for less than a year, and, well, maybe Albanese is sort of seeing a little bit of it in One Nation, but any guy who's in power for less than a year and manages to turn everything around and then reform is going to be like the next government. Like that. His polls went through the floor. He is the joke.
But on the plus side, he's completely destroyed the Conservative Party.
Well, I know.
He's also destroyed his own party, but, you know...
It's good effort.
Can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs.